Well, let's see how long it works. Not gonna be able to do it with this t-shirt on. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Ask me about up dog. All right, full self-driving. Roll out. Love the color. Full self-driving. Engaged. Can you get out of this parking lot? Can't be not making any noises like that. Got a semi come on it, right? Other than that, we should get out there and go if we're gonna make this green light. Could give it some acceleration. But no. Let's see how it does. They handled it just fine. Even though that car wasn't clear until the very last moment if I wanted to turn or not.
You gonna transform? Man, where's Kyle? I need to throw this away. Surprise! I was here all along. Surprise! I don't know how they did it on the sketch. That's true. You guys are on. Yeah. You're getting this normal.
I want to keep it under 75.
Everyone, don't worry.
We're going to minimal lane
I'm just
change.
here normally. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Oh, hold on. I need to throw away this coaster. Surprise! What? When did you get here? I definitely didn't.
Hey, everybody. This is working out well. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Babylon Bee quick live stream. We are going to react to the most insane liberal election meltdowns. How you doing, fellow garbage out there in garbage land? We're hanging out. Travis has his official Babylon Bee garbage for Trump t-shirt on, and I am literally garbage.
Sad.
Not good.
Sad but true.
How's everybody feeling? Feeling good.
I'm feeling good.
Hey,
Yesterday you were kind of pessimistic.
per my accurate prediction, I have really bad at predictions. So in a way, I was extremely accurate because I said I am the worst predictor of all time, and Kamala's going to win. Which makes me accurate because it's opposite day. All right, everybody, we're going to react. Liberals are freaking out, and we are going to react to the most insane reactions. We are reacting to the reactors. Who reacts to the reactors?
Who reacts to the reactors?
Just like the stonecutters. Here we go. First one is from the right-wing Twitter account. Who says, this is unironically worse than 9/11.
Unironically.
And, wow.
137,000 people. Yeah, right.
They clicked like on it. Yep.
Sure is.
First, the plane's going down, people die. That was the middle of the night. That was 11 p.m. last night. So that's like right when everything was starting to go for Trump. All right, what else do we got? This video is titled "No." Okay. Oh, it's an actual video. We're going. Oh no, this is the video.
What you get with live streams, you do it live.
Here it is. This one's called "No." This is an art piece I like to call "No."
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why? You really hate me that bad? I'm sorry. No!
What? So, you think some of these people are just like playing it up for the engagement?
I do like the idea of the person that she does that, and then she's like, "Okay, let me take that again."
Yeah, hold on. I wasn't passionate enough.
All right, here's Mueller. She wrote a account that was all about the Russian conspiracy theory. I hope in the coming days someone is able to explain how he had a record turnout that 18 million fewer votes in 2020. Both of those things can't be true.
Both of those things can't be true.
But is that just saying that maybe 2020 was fishy?
Yeah,
It's like,
that
wait a minute,
implies
are you
more
admitting
to-
that 2020 was fishy? But I think there are still millions of votes to be counted, right? Because
Yeah.
not everything's been counted.
They have
across
not
the
counted
board.
everything, but technically, I think they have a count of what is there to count.
Oh, okay.
Because that's easier than reading. Here's a tweet from Lorraine Evanoff. Dear Adpos, there are 20 million votes missing. No way there were 20 million fewer votes than 2020 was massive. 25 million surge in voter registration and record turnout. No way. So it's echoed the ridiculous. So that's interesting, actually, that they're trying this into like, oh,
Something fishy's
something
going
fishy
on.
going on. We should just make the
Questioning election results. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is from the view.
Oh, yeah, I love those.
I don't know. I'm profoundly disturbed.
Profoundly disturbed.
I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was "America makes a perilous choice." I think that in 2016 we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now, and
And it's been
we know now that
Keep-
The report from the liberal pair. They were going to do that.
a renowned reporter.
Hold on. Names.
Morning feels spicy. You guys feel spicy? I do. Alright. I don't know how to use this thing. Let's see what happens. Is this cutting off hair? Cutting hair.
She's not saying anything about
Giving up on America?
She's-
Yeah. Giving up on coloring this hair. It's great.
Oh, she said she's
But
giving up
coloring
on
my
her.
hair. But having my hair be long.
Bleep.
Language, Blue.
I'm gonna try to bleep. Bleep. I think I picked this one, so that's fine.
You just picked a normal video of someone shaving their head.
Stop dating
Ask
this.
the husband, leave your fucking boyfriend.
Wait.
Leave that.
Wait,
Bleep. You're faster bleeper than I.
Fucking
Bleep. 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 Bleep.
Oh, and she talked about the LA Clippers.
Oh, she's a Clippers fan. That makes sense. Alright. Shaving her head for the TikTok likes. Good job.
Yeah.
Alright, here's a woman that is freaking out that the election of Trump is going to destroy her relationship with her parents.
Wow.
The person who gets on here and cries.
I think you do like being the person who gets out here and cries. I think that's your whole thing.
Don't understand what they voted for and like what it means and
I think that's a you problem,
it's
honey.
an hatred that they stand behind and how I like am trying to be a good person. I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because
Why is that ironic?
it's supposed
Yeah, that's
to
how
like
you-
religion's supposed to make you love.
Oh, that's why it's there.
But I could see it like breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it and they don't get that they voted for so who's gonna make my friends
Bleep.
Oh.
Oh, she says I'm okay because I'm a white woman. But my friends,
Wow, racist.
my black friends,
Why
my
are you so
minority
racist?
friends are gonna be.
Man.
I always like when they're like talking about how my friends are people of color. I have friends who are people of color. My life will be great. Bleep! Bleep! Bleep!
Oh, I should talk about the LA Clippers.
No, he's the Clippers fan. That makes sense. All right. Shaving her head for the TikTok likes. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, here's a woman that is freaking out that the election of Trump is going to destroy her relationship with her parents.
Oh.
The person that gets on here and cries.
I think you do like being the person who gets out here and cries. That's your own thing.
Because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what it means and
I think that's a you problem, honey.
bigotry and hatred that they stand behind. And how I like am trying to be a good person. I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because
Why is that ironic?
it's
She's about to tell you.
religion's supposed to be love.
Oh, that's what's her.
But I can see it like breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it and they don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell.
Bleep.
Oh.
My friends are not me.
Oh, she says I'm okay because I'm a white woman. But my friends,
Wow, racist.
my black friends,
Why
my
are you so
minority
racist?
friends are gonna be.
Man.
I always like when they're like talking about how my friends are people of color. I have friends who are people of color. My life will be great. I just put that.
All right, so
Travis, show off your shirt.
I
for
already
everybody.
did show off my
Do it
shirt.
again. MAGA garbage for Trump. You can get this on the Babylon Bee store, shop.babylonbee.com. Use code podcast. You'll get some dollar bills off of that.
Why not promo code shirt?
Use promo code SHIRT and see what happens. All right, this is a clip from CNN. Jake Tapper commenting on the Pennsylvania County.
Overperforming Joe Biden in 2020. And, well, bring that out here. Harris overperforming 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there. Literally nothing. Literally not one. So you asked, are there any questions?
So
That was
they
amazing.
press an option on their fancy touchscreen saying, show us any county where Harris has outperformed Biden, and it stays black.
Yeah.
Nothing lights up.
So
And Tapper's like,
whoa.
huh? And then he's like, well, let's slide this menu out of the way. Maybe there's stuff on the East Coast. No. It's like an Onion sketch. You can't, it's just classic.
Yeah, Jake Tapper he's so in his bubble that he's shocked
You gotta
live.
understand. This thing is broken. They should have tried hitting it. Let's see if it so here's Joy Reid.
Oh.
Let's see what she has to say.
It's a pure Project 2025 in miniature in Florida, and that kind of extreme, sort of extremist, right-wing, fascist-type government in Florida, does that make it a more attractive place? It's a pure
So it's,
Project 2025 in miniature.
So she's just talking about Florida.
Florida is because Florida went so hard for Trump.
Yeah.
Like he won like Miami-Dade County,
Yeah.
and she calls that far right fascist state.
Yeah.
How does she have a job? How do they keep her on air? Like, don't they get sued a bunch?
You would think.
But I guess
Well, she's lit. All these people are totally ignoring the valid points that voters of Trump bring up.
Yeah.
These some liberals voted for Trump. Miami, like you said. I mean, that's a liberal city.
take me down to that liberal city where the hair is green and the girls ain't pretty.
Come on.
You're right.
That's why it says, "Take me home."
Oh, won't you
Away
please,
somewhere else.
oh, won't you please take me home,
Take me back home.
away from this liberal city? Here's a tweet from, I don't know how to pronounce this. Helpful tip. One thing you might want to do before January 20th is update all your vaccinations.
And Laura Haggerty replies, and buy as much birth control as your physician will let you.
And then the replies to this even are funny. I suggest the next implant, unless 4 years or so, has to be physically removed. Nobody is separating you from your birth control. And then she says, I'll speak to my daughter about that. She's queer, so she doesn't need it for sex. But she does need it for her.
Does she? Wow.
Project 2025 initiates.
You have to hit the button.
Oh, Project
Is it-
2025.
1, 2.
It's like one of those. What is it called? Like the dead man.
Yeah, well, no, it's like the nuclear submarine.
Yeah, isn't that called a dead man key or something? Like where you both have to do it at the same time.
I don't. Why would a dead man turn?
Because it's like if a guy's dead, he can't do it.
Sure, it's a dead man.
Commenters, let us know what that's called. One, 2,
two,
3. Project 2025.
Project 2025. Activate.
Activate. Execute. Order.
Like,
2025.
there we go. Oh,
Okay,
we had it the whole time.
Here's a tweet from someone named Davis who says 2020, and they show the disparity: 155 million votes cast in 2020.
You know, seeing it all
Nothing
lined
strange
up,
about that at all.
all lined up like that, it does look.
It is actually very strange. And the only thing I can think is pandemic, COVID, everybody was bored, had nothing else to do.
Mhm.
Everybody was like new to the mail-in ballot thing. Everybody was mailing their ballots in. Maybe, but it still doesn't really explain like 20 million more
It's
votes.
still so much. Yeah.
I like this tweet from, or this Reddit comment. And they were commenting last night live on the election and r/politics. Dang, y'all. Maybe we really did steal the election in 2020.
Oh, yeah, it does make 2020 look even more suspicious.
That is incredible.
Yeah, and then meow BTW. Yeah, y'all did.
Yeah,
Meow BTW. No.
right? Am I right? White dude for Harris. We might want to mute this one.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of, you can probably
Hi,
make,
my name's
make out.
White Dude for Terrace. Oh,
No, no!
Richard.
Ah! We both want to mute it and
Oh.
censor. Now, is this guy maybe this guy's joking. Maybe that's his shtick. This looks like satire. This is not satire.
I don't show it again.
Ah!
No. You paused it.
Yeah, it might be a joke. Anyway, all right. We got Jen Psaki calling Elon Musk a kind word. Let's see what Jen Psaki has to say about our friend Elon.
But you have Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, X, who is a disinformation propagandist and now has a direct, could potentially have a direct line to the Oval Office. A big, huge.
Disinformation propagandist.
Hey, Jen. Takes one to know one.
Oh,
Whoever smelt it. Dealt it.
that was a sick
I
part.
don't know how that applies, but all right, we got
I
a
don't know how
liberal
that applies.
tears compilation. This is 4 minutes long, and this is from we'll just do a few of them, but this is from dissident media on Twitter.
Babe.
Teslas.
Disgust me, you orange pumpkin turd, failed wannabe businessman who was born with a gold spoon in his mouth. You just costed me, my dad.
You costed me. Oh, that's the same lady we saw earlier.
Oh yeah, we saw this one. So this, what I like about this is it's over a video of Trump dancing in the background. Dissident media.
You know, I haven't seen his
Excellent.
acceptance speech. Did you see it?
I didn't see any. I don't know.
I don't want to see that guy again.
Ah, no, not again! Not again! You can click ahead. Let's do a couple more of them. See what else we got. Not people.
Why are y'all Trump supporters? Why big right now? Why is it okay?
She's handling it relatively well.
She's just asking questions.
I should have kept my vote to myself because I knew it didn't fucking matter.
Beep.
I knew it didn't.
I missed that one. Sorry.
You're just getting used to it now.
Ooh.
Oh, look at this guy. Oh, so he's
Really just sad.
he posted this like to TikTok or whatever, and used the this Miley Cyrus song, Kaboom song, whatever, to show how sad he is. He probably did 20 takes as well.
Oh yeah. So were you this sad when Joe Biden won 4 years ago?
Yeah. It was the first time I had ever voted, and so I was a little distraught. But I was like, this is terrible. I hate voting for someone and having them lose. That's bad. Lame. But it's like a day later, and we just said, all right, I guess we're writing jokes about Joe Biden now. All right, here's the one. Let's see what this is.
America, how could you do this to us again? What the
fuck? Amble.
How are we supposed to live another life like this? What the hell?
Mildly.
What did you do to us?
Wow.
It's gonna be kind of hard to
How could you do this?
See, either he's a really good actor or that one looks real.
No, I think that was real for sure. Yeah, only the big guy taking his shirt off, that looked like it.
Yeah, and Billie Eilish posted on Instagram, it's war on women.
It's war on women.
It's a war.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. And, women had an uptick voting for Trump.
Right?
It's a war on women.
Women are having a civil war.
Women declare war on themselves. All right, here's one.
Entirety of his presidency. So if you want to have somewhat of a choice over your body, you should probably go get one.
Wow.
They're down bad. There's another way to not get pregnant.
What is
Experts many are saying.
With this one easy trick.
All right, here's a post from Reddit. This is like the second tower getting hit.
Wow.
And it's like Trump just about to win on the electoral map list. Is that a joke? I'm not familiar with all these subreddits. Like, is this a subreddit where they post satire? I'm not sure.
I'm sure it is slightly a joke, but they know it's an exaggeration. But I wouldn't make that comparison.
All right, here's a post from somebody named Christina Aplagate. Why? Give me your reasons why. My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away. Why? And if you disagree, please unfollow. Why is she asking us to give her reasons?
And then we have to unfollow her.
And also unfollow.
Seems inconsistent.
That seems not very well.
Well, that was a lot of crazy things to react to.
That was a lot of insanity. Guys, stay safe out there. And, way to go, Trump. Go garbage.
Go garbage.
Excited to be hanging out with the garbage today. Taking out the trash.
That's you.
Let's say hi to a few of the commenters here. What do we got? We got Candaris says, my cup is empty. I came for the tears. That's very smart of you. You show up with the empty cup. Hey, I brought my own, and then you get a cheaper.
Yeah.
So you go to 7-Eleven, 29-cent refill. That's what it used to be. I'm sure it's more than.
And Last Prism says shalom.
Mr. Tesla says, I haven't seen a man beat a woman this hard since the Paris Olympics. Oh, hey, Joe Jetpack reminded us that we promised that Travis would do the Trump dance.
Did I promise that?
Well, you didn't promise it. I promised it.
I'm pretty sure that was if he won before the podcast was over.
Okay, so I think you're going to need to do the Trump dance. You don't have to do it for 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, good.
But
that's the compromise. It's not 20 minutes.
That's the compromise. All right, here we go, everybody. So I'll read a few more comments as we sign off, and Travis dances. And Antagonistic says, voted Trump all 3 times, live in California, just need Gavin Newsom gone. Agree with that. The Real Jolly Roger says, Peanut sends his regards. Peanut is watching down on us all, looking down on us all.
Peanut sends his regards.
Diana Smallwood says, wait, now they know what a woman is?
Wait, now they know what a woman is?
AG is giving you some tips. Don't move the body, just the arms. He does kind of shift to, like, pump the legs a little. Yeah. No, I liked it better before. Dance, Travis, dance. Andrew Rupe says, thank you for dancing. Liberals cry more from Bishal Shretha. American Foreigner says she should have ended her speech by saying, keep Kamala and carry on a lot.
Keep Kamala and carry on.
Oh, and justice for Fred the Raccoon, too. Thank you, Bionic Bigfoot and George H.
Keep Kamala
Remember
and carry on.
Fred the Raccoon. And that's great. Asa asks why we're bleeping. We're bleeping because we're Christians. We bleep the bad stuff. That's why we bleep. Bean Man says that you're literally Michael Jackson.
Thank you. Thank you. That was, I'm tired.
And the Burn Man says, now it's time for you to sit down and hydrate with some lip tears.
Ugh. Salty.
Well, it's a lot of electrolytes because of the salt.
Oh, so it's healthy.
Yeah.
Hey, we just got a tip.
Long live Liberty. $1.99 tip. Thank you. Promo code for the View store is podcast.
Not shirt.
Not shirt. Don't do that.
Moonwalk. Okay, I can moonwalk. Watch this.
Dude, Travis is just dancing for money on the internet at this point. That's a pretty good moonwalk, man. Yeah. Oh, one other thing before we go. Babylon Bee Guide to the Apocalypse. We just got our new books in hand. Pick this up. This will tell you how to survive all the commie and Antifa riots that are about to happen and all different possibilities of the apocalypse. We sent Travis through the multiverse to see how the universe ends in every single universe.
Yeah. Did I come back?
You'll have to find out. You'll have to find out in the book. Lots of stick figures. We actually have videos that you can QR code linked videos of Travis. Look, this page tells you how to fight off commies and elbow drop them from the top of the Kremlin. That's one. Hit them with the swirling potato sack of death. Swoop down and attack them with an American eagle. Show them a picture of a capitalist country, and their head just pops right off.
It's amazing. We confirmed it does work. Hey, we just got another tip.
Thank you.
Ed Park.
$5 Canadian, which is only like 20 cents. I'm sure the mere presence of the bee enhances the derangement of countless supporters. That's what we call ourselves, derangement enhancers.
Yeah.
Derangement enhancing performance drugs.
Yeah, you can't take them if you play baseball. You cannot take them. So, Kyle, another Trump one. What country are you moving to?
I will be moving to the country of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Beautiful this time.
Get out of the United States.
Completely out.
Yeah, go to Puerto.
I'm going to move to the beautiful country of Hawaii.
Nice.
Ding dong.
Yeah.
How they say it.
I like it. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. Go to shop.babylonbee.com where you can pick up the Babylon Bee Guide to the Apocalypse, and you can buy Travis's shirt, the very one that he is wearing, and use the code podcast, and you will get, I think it's 20% off. Don't quote me on that, but you get some money off. Buy our new book, Guide to the Apocalypse. It comes out next Tuesday. These are the early copies we just got in hand, so you buy it now and you'll get it. You can ship it on Tuesday within 4 to 6 weeks.
We hope you enjoy it. We worked on it, so that was work.
Travis did all the stick figures for the most part, and Bettina over there in the office did all the drawings, and me and Brandon, who you see on the podcast, Joel, our managing editor, did all of the writing, the jokes.
Yeah.
So all the classic humor you've come to love from Babylon Bee headlines, written by the Babylon Bee writers. Grab the Babylon Bee Guide to the Apocalypse, and you will be able to survive Kamala's Antifa riots, which will be happening in the next few months.
Guaranteed.
Yep. All right, guys. We will see you soon.
Oh, hey,
Stay safe out there.
do you want to play Trump the game?
Sure. Roll them bones.
And Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
I texted him, I'm like, Keith, I think Trump is going to win the national vote. He said, there's no way that's going to happen. There is no way that's going to happen. I'm like, Keith, you are underestimating how popular Trump is. You are underestimating how sick and tired people are with the bullshit. For the New York Times to be willing to print headlines that talk about how the First Amendment is a threat to our democracy, like, this is the most boneheaded, un-American idea that I can possibly even imagine. It's very hard to convey just how unique and how awesome America is, right? but it's awesome because the individual has a path to success that is 100% based on merit. It's on the work you put in gives you results.
I think the thing that I appreciate about you is that you had faith in normal, sane people to be able to come through and to win the day in the face of literally years of the most intense gaslighting campaign I have ever witnessed in my life.
A winning formula for me has been to always give the average person is smarter than they get credit for. They are much more intelligent than they get credit for. They follow their gut a lot more than they get credit for. And they are able to analyze the situation and act in a rational manner a lot more than they're given credit for. Now, it is also true at the same token that the United States has been under, and the Western world, really, if you really think about it, especially with the dawn of mainstream media, large-scale media, the internet, et cetera, has been under a very real grip of propaganda. That is objectively true from both sides. But the left, this sort of like Western liberal mindset, that is the woke mind virus, which we have confirmation. You know, a lot of people, when Elon Musk was talking about this and other players talking about this, you know, they were kind of worried about conspiratorial. He's kind of, you know, he is falling off the ledge. He's, you know, Howard Hughesing all over the place, right? 100% correct. And Kamala Harris and her administration and her campaign was the encapsulation of that movement to the extreme, right? And people grew tired of it. They rejected it. They rejected it en masse in such a violent fashion that when you watch the other side and try to cope with this, they are incapable. I remember my dear friend Keith, we had that wonderful debate with him last week. I texted him, I'm like, Keith, I think Trump is going to win the national vote. He said, there's no way that's going to happen. There is no way that's going to happen. I'm like, Keith, you are underestimating how popular Trump is. You are underestimating how sick and tired people are with the bullshit.
And honestly, a big part of it is not even how popular Donald Trump is. Like, that is a component of it for his base. But honestly, to a bigger extent, it's how unpopular the Biden administration's handling of the last 4 years has been. Like, people who live in the bubble of progressive politics do not understand how much contempt that they exude for the normal, everyday American, and how much contempt that we have for them in response. Like, for the New York Times to be willing to print headlines that talk about how the First Amendment is a threat to our democracy. Like, this is the most boneheaded, un-American idea that I can possibly even imagine. And for the people that are talking about threats to our democracy to be actively attacking, like, the core foundations of the founding vision of America as a nation, and think that normal everyday Americans who love this country aren't going to turn around and say, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing. And it's like that people that think they're smarter than they actually are pushing these ideas. That's the core root of this issue. Is we have a segment of the population who have an elitist attitude, who are typically, you know, let's say educated, but in this day and age, and I'm sorry to say, in this day and age, educated really just means propagandized. Like, you haven't really been taught how to critically think and how to be a free thinker and analyze what's in front of you. You have been taught and trained to act and spit information based on a predetermined set of rules that you cannot break away from. You live in a closed loop and you cannot break out of it. And this is how these people operate.
The
That's
definition of DEI is how to get people of all different backgrounds, skin colors, nationalities, religions to all think, say, and believe the exact
Same
same
Yeah.
thing. And if they don't, they become the most egregious examples of and objects of hatred by the system.
It's unbelievable. And these folks have infiltrated way too many places in our society, primarily around the dissemination of information. It just so happened that there was a Venn diagram overlap of people who are incapable of breaking out of this closed loop type of thinking and having the ability to propagate information en masse, right? And then either on purpose or by accident, there was a marriage between the left of the political spectrum, and then those people, they became very, very closely tied instead of one being critical of each other, of the other, because at that point you have to go against your preconceived notions and your biases, right? Because you come from that group, and what happens? They become sort of intertwined very closely, and then they start propagating this garbage onto the nation. And here's the thing that I think at the root of it gets completely miscategorized. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
I was just going to say this is garbage that only is able to survive in the light of day because it is birthed in a place that is completely shielded from reality.
Yes.
Like these liberal arts colleges, especially the ones like Harvard and Yale that have these huge endowments and this massive, prestige and all this stuff, that the professors and students there, live in a world that is 100% insulated from the reality of most people. And ideas are able to take root there that don't have to make contact with the real world in their formative stage. And then they can think that these ideas are great ideas when in fact, any person who, exists in the real world knows that's bologna sauce. But then it gets into the minds of people that then go on out of that incubator into positions of influence and power and get to start, enacting those ideas in ways that are very destructive. And, a lot of them from a place of mostly good intentions. But, the power and the influence that goes along with it, that certainly doesn't.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the total disconnect with the fact that the United States is a very moderate country. It is a very moderate country and is significantly to the right in the Western world because of its large immigrant population. I think this is like the point that always gets misconstrued, right?
The founding vision of the country is the founding vision of immigrants.
Yeah. Who escaped tyranny and escaped being controlled, being authoritarian governments by default. The way this country was made is to reject establishment thinking, and the Democrats are establishment to the maximum. Kamala's appointment, non-election primary, is the definition of establishment. It's the definition of establishment. You're telling me that somehow this candidate was going to win in 2024? There's no fucking way. No fucking way.
She wasn't even going to win in 2020. That's why she didn't make it.
Yeah. That's why she was one of the worst polling candidates in her home state.
Never forget that. Literally one of the first candidates in the Democratic primary in 2020 to get knocked out.
Awful. Man.
And the other part of the immigrant ethos that is at the foundation of this nation, I think the immigrant ethos of I want to go someplace where they're going to give me a bunch of stuff and I'm going to be given handouts to where I can make my life what I want it to be. They were looking for a place where they had freedom to be successful if they could create that success themselves.
Yes.
And that fierce independence and desire for liberty, which comes with tremendous responsibility, is a unique value of the United States in comparison with, most other Western. I mean, there's no other Western nation that has that at the founding, and certainly there's no place like this on Earth.
So unique. It is so, like, this election is such a reminder of that, and I think like, as an immigrant, like as somebody that came from Europe, my parents, for those that are not familiar, my parents, I don't know if you can tell from the way I look, my parents are born and raised in Iran. They fled the revolution in 79.
I can't believe you would betray us and not vote for Congress.
Sorry. I was part of the very small minority group that voted Trump. It's okay. My parents fled the revolution in 79. They moved to Spain. That's where they had me. And then we moved to the States when I was 12 from Spain. Okay. And we came here for the American dream, and my parents made it work, and it's amazing, right? My life is a trillion times better because of their sacrifice. Twice. They moved to 2 different countries twice, and I had to learn the language from scratch both times. Okay? Crazy. Like, unbelievable. Like, unbelievable what they did to secure a good life for me and my brother, and for themselves. The kind of person, like, I think if you don't go through that experience, if you don't step outside the United States, especially if you're somebody who has had a lot of success in the United States and is used to the United States, okay, it's very hard to convey just how unique and how awesome America is, right? But it's awesome because the individual has a path to success that is 100% based on merit. It's on the work you put in gives you results. There's no blockades. There's no lack of opportunities. You can go out and fucking get it. If you really want to work hard and get it, you can get it, okay? And that is enabled by having an open and free society where you reward people based on what they do. And what the Democrats have been trying to do, they've been trying to layer on roadblocks. Yep. Why are you doing that? It does it's insanity. Like, you have completely lost the plot. You have lost the plot as to why this country is as good as great as it is. And the most encouraging part of this election is that it's clear and obvious that the spirit of America, which is rejecting establishment, is alive and well, even in a day and age where the level of propaganda out there and the level of control and the level of outright almost like evil behavior from a lot of these groups, either by accident or on purpose, is amplified tremendously by technology. It is surviving that. It has survived that, and it survived that in spades. Okay? But one fucking person, right? One person, I really do think I really do think, and we definitely give Elon his props on this channel, but I do, would this have happened without Elon buying X?
Dude, I don't know.
I really don't think so. I really don't think so.
We told people that this was going to be a huge deal before it ever happened. And we have the receipts. You can go back on the channel and you can watch the conversations that we were having around that. I continue to go back to it, and it's not like Joe Rogan says this. There are so many people, Mark Andreessen, Naval, having the ability to openly discuss the truth as we see it from our own perspectives and have the brawl of a debate and conversation that exists on X in its own very unique, special, really messed up way is the process by which we can think. And a lot of that thinking is wrong. But if you're willing to subject the ideas to enough battle testing, the truth really does rise to the top. And I mean, that's why it is so unacceptable to the establishment political class that such a thing exists, because we almost always come to a conclusion that is different than the appointed narrative that we're supposed to believe. And that is the most dangerous misinformation and disinformation that must be censored, is the things that are true. Like COVID-19 was almost with 95+% certainty a lab leak. Those things may not be spoken ever.
Unbelievable.
Anywhere. By anyone. No matter how credentialed you are. You could be a Stanford-educated virologist with deep subject matter expertise. And if you say the unsayable truth, you must be canceled.
How fucking crazy is that in hindsight? Like, it's been discussed on different podcasts multiple times, right? It is so unbelievable that actually happened. That we knew what the truth was, and the government said you are not allowed. And
not allowed to say the truth.
You're not allowed to say the truth, and we will punish you if you say the truth. And social media companies 100% went along with it.
And
They did.
more sinister thing about it wasn't that we don't think it's true, and so we think it needs to be suppressed because we actually believe the truth is this other thing.
Right.
No, they had to suppress it because the people who were making the decisions about what can and cannot be said actually knew that it was true, and it was a very inconvenient truth for them.
Yeah. Malinformation, Hans. It was malinformation. It was when you say the truth, but the truth is damaging. And thus we have to stop the truth from happening. And the core group of people that make that decision, they're the ones who control the narrative for society. 1984 was legit a thing. And it could still be a thing. But I really do think this election is going to break a lot of those shackles. You know, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see if that actually happens. But it feels very hopeful. It feels like big change is coming.
Maybe this is a good place to transition into the concerns, because I think there's a lot of reason to be hopeful.
Yeah.
As we talked about with Keith, I think the chances of that system being willing to make the necessary changes to allow liberty, which is the core foundation on which America's ability to be a shining beacon on a hill for the rest of the world exists, is allowed to continue for everyday Americans. Like, that just was not going to happen under a Harris administration. They were going to continue to tighten down the screws and suffocate this nation by a whole host of measures. Now, does that mean that Donald Trump can really make those changes? Well, I certainly have concerns about his ability to do that, given the fact that he was in office for 4 years and he did some good things, but it certainly didn't prevent 2020 from happening. It certainly didn't prevent COVID. The response to COVID itself was lackluster. Lackluster
At best.
At best. And there's a whole number of points of concern that we might have with him, but I'll tell you what, the group that he has around him now sure gives me a lot different vibes than the people that were around him in 2016, and so that's exciting. But what I would really like to see moving forward, as from a libertarian perspective, is that people like Ron Paul and Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., who are all in favor of identifying corrupt aspects of the United States government in their own way and surgically removing those from our society. I hope that those people are given latitude to do that. It is not power that gets invested in any of the institutions that then exist as a tool that can continue to be used to grow bureaucracy, grow spending, grow government, grow invasiveness into the lives of everyday Americans on behalf of any political constituency, Republican or Democrat. Like,
Yeah.
my hope is that we can legitimately reduce the amount of influence and impact that the government has on everybody's life permanently, and not create tools to do that can then be used in reverse to really harm Americans in the next administration, the administration after that, the administration after that, because that's the general pattern that has gotten us to the point that we're at today, is that each new administration finds excuses to create new tools, and it is this buildup of layered tools upon layered tools over time that creates the swamp. And on one hand, you could say the swamp is the people with bad motives doing bad things in Washington, D.C. And I think that when you have a system that's that complicated, I don't know that any human being can face that complicated of a system and be able to identify what the correct mode of operation is to achieve the desired outcome for people. And that's the concern that we definitely have for Elon. Like, how does Elon go about enacting the Department of Government Efficiency and cutting through red tape, cutting through regulations, eliminating agencies, and also maintain his neutral? Like, it's going to be a conflict of interest for him in a number of cases in doing that, because he's got so many companies that do so many different things, and a lot of the agencies that are going to need to be cut are going to be agencies that actually have a direct impact on his companies. Okay, so how do you manage the proper reduction of whether it's the number of agencies or the number of regulations themselves to something that is sensible in a way that is fair and reasonably impartial? That's going to be a hard challenge. And then the other thing is, while the people that we're excited about are Tulsi RFK Jr., Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, these
Ron
types
Paul.
of people, Ron Paul,
Joe Rogan, Dana
Joe
White.
Rogan, yeah.
Fucking Avengers for real.
We haven't had a cabinet be put in place yet, and it's not impossible that we could have more of the same like we had last time. If Mike Pompeo is brought in again, and a number of either neocon, like outright neocons, or neocon adjacent people, or just swamp establishment people who are able to frustrate and slow down the efforts that we need to see as Americans to get back to a place where our government actually works, and works for the people by giving the people freedom, not restricting freedom.
Yeah, I think the signal that we need to look for that actually happening is how violent of a change they'll put in place and how quickly they'll start ripping off bandages, right? I don't think this is something they can do
the first 2 months are going to be, even Trump's first term, like what he did when he got in there immediately and got to work, that set a tone. He did a lot in those first 90 days. And Elon Musk has a say. He's not going to wait until minute 2. He's going to hit the ground running.
He's probably already He's probably already doing it.
Oh, 100%.
Behind the scenes, he's already getting it set up. That's what gets me so excited. That it truly does get me excited, because I think in the case of Elon Musk, we have somebody that we study very closely. We know how he runs his businesses. We understand the kind of culture he sets. I think one of the things that's underrated about him is his way to inspire the groups around him. Like, you bet your ass, if he actually does execute against this and he's able to make change, your Vivek's, RFK's, Tulsi's, et cetera, are going to be like, holy shit, is this actually how you get shit done? Like, because this is a unique skill set that he possesses that nobody else does, and very few people do, and most people have no idea what the secret sauce actually is. Like, unless you've worked with him or worked at his companies, you don't really understand what the secret sauce is. Like, you have an idea, you have a way to do it, right? But now he's going to do it at the United States federal level. How is that not an incredibly exciting thought? Truly.
It is both, for you and I, this is incredibly exciting. This is also incredibly terrifying.
Let's go.
It's going to be great. One of the things that I actually was incredibly shocked and surprised by in a pleasant way, and I look forward to hopefully seeing this in the government context, is the fact that Elon didn't end up having to fire 100% of Twitter. Like, the incredibly talented, motivated, smart, capable, like,
they're all in there,
killer team that X is today, almost all those people were at old Twitter, existing in that literal hellhole of a system. And all he had to do was, like, turn up the flames, make it really hot, let the ones who were wussies jump out early on, and then whittle it down from there until he was able to just, like, refine that group of people down to rock stars and killers, and probably people that weren't even necessarily killers to begin with, but they just were able to rise to the occasion once they were set free. That was so cool. And those people exist inside the United States government.
They do. 100%.
And I think there probably exists at a much greater percentage than that, the 20% of people that are left at X. It's probably 50, 60, 70, 80% of the people. Now, 80% of the people aren't going to survive all the cuts, and, that's okay. Like, there can be some really good people that get set free back into the private sector to do productive things for society. But, I'm excited about true American patriots who love this country, who have a variety of different political perspectives and ideas about how we should really be conducting this American experiment, given the right operating conditions. I think that we can get back to being the most kick-ass nation the world has ever seen.
Dude, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And I think what gives me a lot of confidence that he'll be able to do it is that, him and his team, it's gonna be very difficult, it's gonna be very painful, but he has a track record of doing this across multiple industries. And some of them in heavily regulated industries like the car market, right? Like, it's not normal for a person to start a car company. That's literally the dumbest thing ever. You have to be an idiot to start a car company.
It's the second dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
The only thing that's dumber is starting a space company.
Yeah, that's number one dumbest idea of all time. But so that's great. I think the people that will drive the change and the people that will make government a lot more efficient and better for the people and actually serve the country in the way that the public servant sort of like the way that position was designed to be done, let's say, or the people that are working for the government so that they can actually make the government more active and more responsive to the people. 100% agree, all those people are in there. Literally all you have to do is delete. That's all you have to do. And that's the beauty behind this thing, is you just have to go in there and delete. You just got to delete roadblocks. Yeah.
And you got to delete deep. You got to delete so deep
Yes.
that it hurts a lot, and then you start putting back.
Yeah. And it could be as simple as, Elon threw out like giving people a severance package, right? All you have to do is send a federal, like literally send it to every single group in the federal government and be like, hey, just so you know, the next 4 years are going to be brutal. Like that X email. The next 4 years are going to be brutal. We are going to make the government extremely responsible for the people. And we know that there is a giant amount of waste that the taxpayers are losing money on. And we need to make sure that the public is getting their money's worth. With that said, if you are up for the challenge of making the federal government a lot better and more responsive for the people, okay, then
If you want to be super ultra hardcore in doing
yes,
then
yeah, if you
reply to this email.
I'll
Let's say
reply
yes,
to this
I'm in.
email. I'm in. If not, no hard feelings. Thank you so much for your hard work. Here's 2 years severance, right? 2 years severance. You have everything you need. You can have more than enough time
Thank
to
you
find
for
a
your
job.
service. Have
Thank
a
you
nice
for your
life.
service. Have a nice life. What percentage of that group is going to take the 2 year severance? I'm willing to bet like 60%.
A bunch.
Yeah, like 60%. So immediately you're going to delete the unmotivated. And then the other 40% is going to be the well, I kind of need money. I want to make a difference. Maybe I do want to be part of this, right? But I don't know if I have the mettle to be part of it, right? And then 50% of those are going to get burned out and thrown out. So immediately you're left with 20%, right there. And then that 20%.
A lot of the family people who have competing priorities and aren't willing
Yeah.
to put in the time and the effort that it's going to take, like it's going to be brutal.
Incredible. Really incredible. It's the best. Dude, like, how many stories have you heard of, like, I don't know if you have friends or family in government, but every single person that I know that works for government, it's always the same. No one does any work. It's impossible to get fired. And everyone has the
And
best.
it's impossible to get anything done because
Yeah.
getting something done shines a light on how much everyone else
Public
sucks at their
service.
job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a union job in a lot of places, honestly, you know? So, man, that's so exciting. Oh, that's so exciting. It's so exciting, you know? And you know how to, dude, and you know, if you're legacy media, you're foaming at the mouth here because now the kind of stories you can run. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are destroying the livelihood of government workers.
We told you they were going to destroy democracy, and look, they're
Yeah.
doing it. They're firing all the Democrats.
Yes. Their fascist fingers are just destroying the federal government. And they are removing so many resources and bandwidth that people will literally die. People will literally die. Right? That's the kind of hell we're going to get.
Yep.
And you and I are going to sit
Just
there.
like X
Yeah.
was literally going to cease to exist,
Collapse.
and people were,
And lo and behold, it was
condolences on the death of this platform.
X went from being a platform that was on the cusp of dying to being probably the biggest reason why Donald Trump got elected in 2024. Comeback story.
Could have predicted it.
Yeah, it was impossible to see. Hans, there was no previous track record. This was a brand new thing that's never happened before.
So
And-
much more complicated than rockets and cars.
Yeah, it's just way more complicated. And listen, it's never been done before, Hans. It's never been done before. And
He doesn't
the guy
have
that
nearly enough marketing degree.
he doesn't have enough marketing degree. He doesn't have an MBA, and he is just a stupid person. He's a con man, and he has low IQ, and he's gonna suck. He's gonna be very bad at it, and that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Dude.
He has terrible taste in hiring too. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
the
know how
worst.
he was able to get those, smart people to do things at Tesla and SpaceX. We'll definitely.
Yeah,
be able
really,
to do
really
that
bad.
again.
Yeah, he's actually incredibly sexist too, because all the leaders at his companies are women too. You know, the board at Tesla is a woman, the CEO of SpaceX is a woman, the operations manager, operations leader at SpaceX or X is yeah. Anyway,
CEO of X. Yeah.
Thank you.
COO
Glenn
of
Shotwell?
SpaceX.
Yeah.
CEO of X.
obviously hates men. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously hates men, and he's a terrible person. And he's white, so he's automatically an oppressor. Okay, Hans? He's
The great Satan. The great Satan.
Okay, so, man. Oh, fuck. Like, dude. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I can't believe this actually happened. I can't believe this actually happened.
I just can't stop thinking about Elon's statement that the most entertaining outcome from a third-party observer perspectives is the most likely. Like, I cannot think of anything more entertaining in the soap opera of
Yeah.
Earth 2020s.
Yeah. I've never, yeah. Bro, RFK Jr. is in charge of the medical corruption of the United States.
Get him, bro.
Come on. And defeat
Let's
corruption in
go.
the United States. And Tulsi is going to tackle the industrial complex and the
The
forever
neocon forever war system. Yeah.
Bro. And Ron and Elon are gonna team up to tackle inefficiency in
Hell
government.
yes.
We might kill the friggin' Fed.
In the Fed, yo.
Fucking hope.
Just
I think
tariffs.
that might be a little well, we'll see. You
I
never
know.
You never know. You never
Hey.
know.
Today is Hopium Day.
Yeah, today's hope. Today
What
we get to
about
go.
freeing
Like, we're really happy
Snowden?
with what happened.
Nobody's talking about Snowden.
Again, dude, like just the overwhelming response by the American people is what gives me so much hope. It's like the majority of the people see what we see. They see it, and they're silent, but they're loud. They're silent,
Yeah.
but they're powerful. Dude, they are so powerful. The people are so fucking powerful. It's so awesome.
Freedom, baby.
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna sing the next words.
Okay.
Yeah. I
think we'll almost have to like digest a little bit more and come back on Friday.
I'm
do you
excited and nervous. Yeah. And
Yeah.
we'll see what the next steps look like. I mean,
Yeah.
the other thing that I've been digesting is the implications, like you said. If Trump wins, it's basically a one and for all, like, line in the sand that the power of legacy media is done.
Dead.
Like, you know, it's like GM. It's going to take a few years before the death rattle can finally calm down and that whole thing will stop moving. It'll be a zombie for a while, but the fever dream has broken.
Dude,
And
legacy,
they are
everything
dead.
is dying.
In
Legacy
Elon's
media.
tweet that
Legacy
you are
auto.
the media now. Like,
Legacy Dynasty.
It's true.
it's true.
It's so
You and I are the media now.
We are the
And
media.
Joe Rogan. And
Are we sure that's a good thing?
Yep. No, it's a terrible thing. That's what makes it so ridiculous that it's still that much better than what we had before.
I know. Yeah, I think I can never get over the fact that the reason why you and I have the platform that we have is because legacy media is garbage. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. Hans, you and I have a podcast together and people watch and listen to the shit. Okay?
Like, we're literally nobody from
Yeah.
nowhere. And,
Yeah.
like, we're not like, we're goofy and ridiculous.
Yeah.
This whole last 45 minutes has just been the
Spitball.
dumbest,
Yeah.
most ridiculous babble. And it's still better than watching The View,
World's better.
CNBC, MSNBC, all these shows.
Yeah.
Even Fox, you know, like all of it.
Dude, podcast, the golden age of podcast is here. The golden age of, I just posted on X a few minutes, like before we went live. And it's such an easy prediction to make, I think. In 2028, Joe Rogan's going to host a debate between the two presidential candidates for 4 hours.
Hell yes.
And that will follow on the heels of at least long form conversations every single candidate on
Yeah.
the All In podcast, if not even hosted debates on the All In podcast.
Yeah, and Lex Friedman is going to do his own debate. You're going to have these like different people, respected
And
people.
each format shows a different side of each candidate that comes through. Like, this is the new, actually democratic vetting process of people who don't suck.
Yes, 100%. 100%. You know what's one thing? One thing I hope Trump does too? I don't know how realistic this is, but just host like a live stream or a space once a month, once a quarter, with the people of the United States and just talk to them for like a couple hours. Just bring up at random. Just talk to people. You know how Elon does this thing with spaces? It's just like he just brings up randos. Like Donald Trump would benefit from doing that. And dude, there was a comment that I heard. Rogan had the guys from Trigonometry on, Constantine and what's the other journalist? Anyway, I forget their names, but great podcast. Go check them out. Sorry guys, if you ever want to come on, I'll remember your names. But one of the guys made a comment that really like resonated with me, and he said that moving forward, the presidential candidates we're going to have are no longer going to be these like media clipped personalities that are optimized for rapid fire answers. They're going to be people that are going to be able to sit down in front of a podcast for 3-4 hours and just talk off script from their dome. Imagine it like so the caliber of person you're not going to have running for president is going to be completely different.
This is how America used to operate before TV was a thing. That presidential candidates had to go around from major city to major city, and they would have like legitimate multi-hour debates. Like the two presidential candidates would have long debates.
Yeah.
And just go back and forth and duke it out, and then they go to the next city and they would have a different debate. You know, like a lot of it's going to be similar, but you know, the talking points are not going to be the same. Like it's going to be this ongoing, in-depth debate on the issues that travels around the country. And that was the process for electing someone like Abe Lincoln. And the voters made their decision based on, they went and they listened to this type of series of stump speeches or debate, and then
for
they
hours.
made their decision. And like they could have the attention span to just sit there and not only hear this long debate, but follow it, be able to tell who's winning and who's not, keep the whole mental model of what is the argument that we're having even about, and how is that relevant to us in our lives. And they probably read some pamphlets from whatever the results of the last one were that made it to them, so they're kind of up to speed on, okay, this is what we're talking about today. And like there definitely was a level of engagement and education in the electorate and the political process in the late 1700s and early 1800s that really puts us to shame today. And this is a topic that Neil Postman writes a lot about. And I think podcasting is the medium for the digital age that revives a lot of that dynamic. And, if you just think about our evolutionary history, for the vast majority of all of the time that humans have been on Earth, we didn't have writing at our disposal to record ideas, save them, and pass them down to other people, whether future generations of ourselves or just the guy who lives in the town 10 miles away. It was all oral, and we have this extremely well-developed evolutionary capacity for this exact type of thing. And it's kind of this weird historical anomaly that we've kind of lost touch with it through the development of radio and TV. Well, not necessarily radio, mostly TV, and then things like TikTok really just destroy our brains. But then you you get this incredible barbell distribution of like the most clickbaity possible content on TikTok that's 10 to 60 seconds long. You're just inundated with dopamine, or 3-hour Joe Rogan podcasts, or 4-hour Tim Ferriss podcasts, or our new genre of TV shows that can be 10, 20, 30 hours of one continuous story arc that just gets developed to the nth degree. And that, like, we can have our fun on the TikTok side, and then we can actually have our brain food at a level that we haven't had for decades.
So true. Yeah. And so what does the alternative mean? So because we haven't had that by default, we have presidential candidates that are much more actors than anything. They're politicians who look good for a short period of time, and they're optimized to look good for a short period of time, which is like by default a clickbait approach. Every line they say is optimized to get the largest amount of engagement, and it's total avoidance of saying the wrong thing. And that's
Hell yes!
People need to read.
Hell yes, bro!
If they haven't. This is the one that I was talking about. This is Neil Postman. And his prediction, this was written, I don't know, it may have been written in the 80s, but he had been talking about this subject matter for a long time. And he was predicting that everyone in media, especially news and politics, was going to be corrupted by the medium of TV and become these vapid vessels of entertainment that prioritized looks and aura over substance, and that we as a society were going to suffer for it. And his predictions have come incredibly true. That what he realized was that it was going to be far more important how believable and trustable your news anchor was than whether or not they said actually true things.
Yeah.
That that he tracked the fact that the people who were the most accurate and unbiased and truthful sources of news, if they didn't look like the most beautiful Hollywood actor or actress while delivering that, they would be eviscerated by the person who looked and sounded just the right way to earn your trust.
Yeah.
And that is, exactly what we have been suffering from. And we have, people are so surprised, the corporate media has been lying to us about, almost everything for as long as we can remember when we actually look into the details of things. Well, that apparently was baked into the medium of TV. It was always the inevitable outcome.
Yeah. Which reinforces, I think, the theory that we've been propagandized for a lot longer than we think. This is not a new phenomenon. This has been going on for decades. We were completely unaware of it early on. Yeah. And now we've become aware of it.
I mean, there are certain elements of the fairness doctrine that really did help to protect the journalistic integrity of news media organizations. There are definitely ways that you can criticize the why am I blanking on his name? The news guy from the 70s.
Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite. There were probably some editorial decisions about what we're spoken about that had a distorting effect on the public's understanding. But, the fairness doctrine really did a lot to preserve journalism for a lot longer and mitigate some of these types of concerns that we're talking about. But as the medium evolves and as some of those safeguards lose their ability to be effective in a new environment as the technology changes, then you do fall prey to all of those, those dynamics that Postman warned us about.
Yeah, prophetic, and that's exactly what happened. That's
Yep.
exactly what happened. I think but man, how cool is it that we actually have a return to what it used to be, which generated these epic candidates for president, like Abe Lincoln, right?
Yep.
Like just all these different examples that we can go through. That
Theodore Roosevelt,
yeah.
what a total badass.
Badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the founding fathers,
JFK.
all of them.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Which was the JFK one is interesting because that was kind of like at the beginning of the age of TV.
Yeah, and
right?
his looks, he definitely looked the part, and that was a big. Yeah. He was one of the first candidates to fully take advantage of the medium of TV by being, not only he came from the right heritage, he spoke the right way, he was charming and handsome and all the things, but then also had a lot of substance to him, and is still, one of my, I would say he's my favorite president from the 20th century. I can't think of anyone more respectable for his core. I mean, not necessarily in his family life, but in his patriotism, leading our country and preventing the nuclear holocaust.
Yeah, that's how you know you're talking to a history buff, is when they have a favorite president of the 20th century. Each century gets its own favorite president. I love it. Yeah, man. Wild times. I need a hard stop here. I gotta go.
Update, we're gonna get to work at 2% battery life. We managed to skip level lock completely. To be safe, probably should have done 15 minutes at level lock. But I already spent $22.90 so far this month on electric. And I don't want to pay any more. I want to get free charge at work or around the Reno area. We found a free supercharger at Ford Humboldt Ford in Winnemucca. And still takes about 2 hours to get a full charge, but an hour to get 80%. But it's free. Better than the 15-hour one that we were using, parking it overnight. Taking at least 12 hours to get a full charge from in the teens, 5 to 10%. Is all you really want to go. You don't want to go much lower than 10 miles of range left on that Ford, because Kyle Connor has already done the research, and Dave Connor, I think it's his dad, has pushed that Ford at least twice now to a charging station. So yeah, I don't want to have to push the Ford to a charging station. We did have to buy propane. Bought 39 gallons of propane a couple days ago. So last time we bought propane was probably July. Propane heat has been really nice in the camper. It's nice and toasty, and it's cool. The floor is all nice and warm too. But let's we can get through November without having to buy more propane. It was $3.29 a gallon, 39 gallons. Do the math, y'all. I should have probably been going 7D or 65. Not 75. So next week, I'll make sure to set my speedometer at 7D to see if that's better.
Bro, nobody's telling us anything. Is Bestie gonna be okay?
Nurse, we demand to know how our bestie is doing.
I'm sorry, bro. I told you I don't have that information yet.
Bruh, seriously?
I'm so pressed right now, bro.
Don't be pressed. The doctor will be in shortly, bro. Dead ass.
Yo, if this doctor keeps leaving us on red, he's gonna catch hands on gang.
No. It's gonna be okay. Bestie cannot die like this.
Big facts. She's gonna make it, bro.
There's the doctor now.
Is this Logan Squad?
Gang, gang.
Doctor, please tell us what's up with our bestie.
You might want to sit down.
What I have to say right now might be a little cringe.
Just give us the tea.
Okay, well, as you may have seen on her live, your bestie took a major L while driving her Hellcat.
Yeah, we saw.
We tried everything we could in surgery, and it was sus for a while. But we have your bestie on a machine, and we're doing everything we can.
So, bestie's gonna be okay, right?
I'm sorry, but at this particular time, that's looking like a cap.
Bro, can we see her?
Unfortunately, not right now, bro. You know the vibes. But I promise, if anything changes, I'll pull up.
Say less, bro.
And thank you, doctor.
You a real one.
We stand you.
And I stand you. I can only imagine the feels you're going through right now. If you'll excuse me.
I'm extra salty right now. How could Bestie be so irresponsible?
Yo, millions of people flip their Hellcat on live every day, cuh.
Yeah, you know that could have happened to anyone in the gang.
I know, but when it's bestie, it just hit different.
Yeah, especially since Bestie is my mom.
Yo, she's not just your mom.
She's all our work now.
Exactly. But please, go off, King.
But she's actually my mother, bro. So it's like a little different.
High key, it's not though.
Yeah, so take several seats respectfully, Flob.
The doctor's coming back in.
Hey guys, so big guys. While I was out here chopping it up with you, your bestie took a turn for the worst.
Bro.
You capping?
Unfortunately, no cap. She's literally dead right now.
So, she's laughing?
That's good news.
No, I mean she's literally dead, like dead.
Bro.
I pretend I do not hear it.
Bro, I am so done right now.
I'm so dead that she's dead. Can we see her?
Of course, then, but please, try not to get all extra. Sis?
God, you already cremated her?
No, this is empty.
This just looks way better for the gram than a dead body.
That urn is really iconic.
Fire.
Take all the time you need.
Thanks, bro. I guess we should all say something, right? It's the unconditional support and being a great mom for me.
It's the having 200,000 followers for me.
It's the always doing donuts in your Hellcat for me.
It's the letting NBA YoungBoy smash it All-Star Weekend for me.
It's the always bringing back white Henny from vacation for me.
Well, I don't know. But it's, I have full coverage for me.
That was beautiful, Dr. Bra. All right, let's get a pic. Come on, crowd in.
Right.
Mommy Musk, I'm here to help. Flush a sucker turd for humanity's health. I'm making brilliant innovations in a race against the dark ages. Provide a place to discover your earns. What a racist. Got called to Senate. Data hack. Acted so robotic, Star Trek's like, we need Lieutenant Janova. Tony Stark with a James Bond sprinkle sauce in. And I've been flossing since you double-crossed the Weagle Horse.
Was a lieutenant commander to start, but I wouldn't expect you to understand an org chart. Here's mine. I'm at the top boss, and I'm spitting fire like a pot. So, think of those I don't even fucking blink. Got the CEO knowing what you think. Hey, I've been looking up your family to get started. My God, couldn't clean your daddy's laundry with a part-time. What's the innocuous Instagram? What's that? I'm cleaning up like a wet house. I drive around in a hatchback. I'm at your story like Snapchat. Elon, you're nothing but an attention-seeking outcast, and your star is faded like you on a podcast.
Don't smoke it with Joe Rogan, don't slow motion my pace, man. But I'm conquering my space. It's actual space, man. I got a loan from the White House. Boom. Send that shit straight to the moon. Now I'm taking mankind to Mars, but for your kind, man, I ain't got room. Your platform only launches depression. Who put the elf with no friends in charge of human connection? Hey. You claim to be some kind of saint, but you ain't. Why don't you lean in and face match my musky gush taint? I'm destined to rep Earth. You sold us out for some net worth. Your site's got so many Russian bots, they should call it the social network.
Ooh, bots, I know AI gives you tweeting. I read your feed while eating toast from Robot Morgan dreaming. You need to start sleeping. We can all see you're tired. You're about to be CEO. Oh shit, he got fired. You got all these companies, but they're incomplete. I've got one and I'm full money. Incomplete. Your self-driving truck to haul your ass home. Cause this battle's like PayPal. You got
I think Elon. But I'm conquering MySpace. It's actual space, man.
I demand your place. No mercy. Take your enemy in the face. No mercy. I'm gonna push you around. No mercy. Beat the living crap out of you. Swoop down. No mercy. No mercy. No mercy. Cold-blooded. No mercy. No hesitation. Second thoughts. No mercy. Fight. It's tiny hollow bones. Just maybe class. Just sit down, children. See losers, see nerds, see like you. Just popping out, see losers, see nerds. All gonna push you around. You, yeah, you. Oh, the freaky lip. You give me a message back. Your fists. Your fists. You leave your asthma and your peanut allergy outside. Don't be a pussy. Join Cobra Kai. No mercy! No mercy! Cold-blooded. No mercy! No hesitation. Second thoughts. No mercy!
We are only as strong as our weakest links. There is no good, there is no bad, only strong and weak. When we remove these links, this is what's left.
You can't call me penis breath. Only they can call me penis breath. Why don't kill anyone call me penis breath? Penis breath, penis breath, penis breath. I done put them in their place. No mercy. Take your enemy in the face. No mercy. I'm gonna push you around. No mercy. Beat the killing the crap out of me. Slow down.
No mercy, no mercy. No, no, no. No mercy.
Cold-blooded.
No mercy. No, no, no.
No hesitation. No second thoughts.
No mercy.
They don't know. Do our balance and outline.
To the extreme, I rock on like a candle. Light up the stage as I turn like a candle.
Dance.
Girl, just think of that. Hearing your ear like poisonous. Mushroom deadly. When I hear a dead melody, anything less than the best is a felony.
Love it or leave it. You better gain weight. You better hit if you don't play. And if those are problems. So I'll solve it. Check out the whole quantum engine revolved. Ice, baby. Ice, baby. The party is jumping with the biscuits and under the guitar. Point to the point, to the point. No, thank you.
Cocaine sees like a pound of bacon.
Burning the ugly. I go crazy when I hear this with a hi-hat.
With a stick top 10 pipe. I'm on a roll. Time to go solo.
Holding in my 5.0, my black top down to my head. So, girls and I'm pointing just to say,
Did you stop?
I'm just rolled by me.
Kept on. To the next stop. Pass to the left. Now headed to the next lock.
That lock's dead. You're flying to Dave. Girls playing rock. Girl, wearing excellent things. Don't matter. Driving like a kid. Jealous? Because I'm out getting my shade with a gate of vanilla tonight.
Ready. For the crows on the wall.
Acting because they're for 8 ball.
Gunshot. Rings out like a bell.
Grab an eye and shells falling
Upon the concrete.
too far. Don't feel my glass and I'm on the dust.
Bumper to bumper. The avenue's wrapped. Right into the navel. The jacket's tracked.
Why always on the no, don't begin.
Like see ya.
Got running all the free filter property. So I'll solve it. Check out the whole quantum engine revolved it. Ice, baby. Ice, baby.
Take heed, because I'm a wrinkle. And the fellas on the scene, just in case you didn't know it.
Eyes out, the crazy bullet sound.
With the shaded dick holes in the ground. Like a chemical feel. He's right.
Condition, feel.
Selected and formed as a little of the concept. We make it high. And you want to step with this.
Sweet days on the stage. It's nice like a ninja. Cut like the razor. Fast.
As I reach there.
Yeah, it's right. Guys, let it go. Keep my composure when it's dark. My net eyes on fire because I eat my chips. And if those are problems. So I'll solve it. Check out the whole quantum engine revolved it. Ice, baby. Ice, baby. Well, it's been away. Where's your mother? Ice, baby.
Hold on.
Ice, baby.
Hold on. Hold on.
Ice, baby.
Hold on.
Ice, baby.
Hold on. Hold on.
Flight 6 of Starship. Confidence is at an all-time high, especially after SpaceX successfully recovered the hot station ring from Flight 5. All signs point to an exciting end to 2024 as SpaceX continues to advance the race toward full reusability in space exploration. Let's find out more on today's episode of Great SpaceX. Not too long ago, the With delays to Flight 5, many doubted that Flight 6 would launch before the year ended. Yet, here we are, with anticipation building for what could be the 4th Starship flight in 2024. But before diving into Flight 6 progress, let's quickly update you on some fascinating developments from Flight 5. Recently released images show the recovery of the hot staging ring from B-12 in the Gulf of Mexico. This marks the first time that SpaceX has recovered every part of a booster intact. While previous flights saw some pieces lost, this achievement sets a new precedent for SpaceX's engineering reliability. Though the ring is slightly warped, likely due to the intense heat from the ship's engines, its overall integrity is a promising sign for future missions. With that exciting update on Flight 5 behind us, it's time to focus on what's next. Flight 6 is already in motion. Building on the success of Flight 5, SpaceX is wasting no time preparing for the next launch. After returning B-12 from the launch pad a few days ago, by the afternoon of October 21st, B-13 had already begun its move inside Mega Bay. Prior to that, the booster transport stand was positioned in front of Mega Bay, ready for transfer. According to the previous closure schedule, by the morning of October 22nd, Booster 13 had exited Mega Bay, and by noon, it began its journey to the launch site, where it was placed in the center of the chopstick arms. SpaceX shared images of the step with the message, Flight 6 Super Heavy Booster moved to the Starbase pad for testing. The move comes just 1 week after returning the first booster pod following launch. This suggests a strong likelihood of a static fire test implied by SpaceX's extended road closure schedule, which is typically reserved for testing at the launch site as opposed to massing. These developments also highlight the rapid pace of refurbishment at the launch pad. The last flight didn't cause any major damage to the system. After B-12 departed, the chopstick arms underwent basic tests, and the bumpers and landing rail systems were checked and deemed stable. Additionally, the booster stabilizer pins at the orbital launch mount, or OLM, were installed. As for the road closures, they were scheduled from 6 in the evening to 12 midnight on October 23rd, with 2 backup days from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening on October 24th and 25th Central. It's clear that SpaceX is making swift progress, with these steps happening just over a week after Flight 5. We can expect Booster 13 to complete a static fire by the end of the month. Once that's done, both Flight 6 hardware components will have finished their individual tests. Starship 31 had already completed cryogenic tests, and in September, it successfully completed a static fire test at Massey. Musk announced that Flight 6 was ready pending FAA approval. Now it's just waiting for B-13 to conduct its integration tests and be ready for launch. If this pace continues, integration tests could take place in early or mid-November, but we'll need to see B-13's progress first. Many might wonder why I'm predicting a later timeline. The reason is that I believe both stages will undergo thorough testing. For B-13, the engine system will be closely monitored to avoid warping issues, ensuring efficiency for landing on the maximal arm, as seen in Flight 5. Additionally, hot staging installations will need to be performed. These steps are critical, as B-13 is expected to be caught on the maximal arm in the next flight. As for Ship 31, its engines will also need testing for landing capabilities. Moreover, the heat shield and flap systems will be inspected. It seems Ship 31 still has older tiles, and SpaceX will likely replace them with new armor, similar to Ship 30, to ensure a successful landing in the next flight. At this rate, I predict the launch for Flight 6 will be around late November or early December. Preparations can move quickly, and given the positive outcome of Flight 5, I don't anticipate the FAA causing any delays. I'm hopeful that Flight 6 will launch on November 23rd as a birthday gift for Gwynne Shotwell, SpaceX's president, who has been instrumental in the company's success. Feel free to share your own predictions for the launch date in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on SpaceX's development journey. And while we're on the
get into it. Soul Not For Sale podcast with Charlie here. We got Joe Rogan, and when I saw this medical podcast, I was like, I'm going to learn some stuff, but it's not going to be that great of an episode. This guy, this Cali Means guy, is a straight up patriot. Not only did he bring Trump and RFK together, but he is on his soapbox screaming to Americans that you have to look past who they tell you Trump is and really look at the man. I'm going to have him. He's talking about some very electric stuff about Trump, RFK, and he's talking about who is really going to make the decision. Are you going to trust Kamala to make the decision to take the poison out of the food that's running through America? Or are you going to trust Donald Trump to just make a brass decision and not care what anybody has to say about it? So we're going to hear that first. Then we're going to move on to RFK, talking about a lot of this stuff and what he plans to do alongside Trump. Then you're going to hear Tulsi talk as well, and then we're going to end it with Elon Musk. We got the whole right-wing Avengers, just missing Tucker Carlson. That's all we're missing. I'll fill in for Tucker today. Let's get right into it, guys.
I think a lot of us feel it. Like, I think you see it on the ground. Like, this Kennedy Trump thing is powerful. Like, the media denigrates it, but like, Kennedy is explaining this.
The
and now
media
Trump
denigrates it, but I don't think people have any faith in the media anymore.
And they're
really,
listening.
even the New York Times, which used to be the number one, I don't think people have faith in the media anymore.
They're clamoring to this message. Like, watching RFK and Trump at a rally, it's the most electric political experience I've ever seen. Like, it was the loudest applause I've ever heard. There's something visceral when RFK starts talking about the CDC needing Dr. Jay Barsharia on there and the FDA, you know, and the NIH. Starts naming those agencies and starts saying we're going to get to the bottom of why our food for our kids is poison and we're going to reverse childhood chronic disease by taking on this corruption. When they say that, it's electric. It's like a release. It's like a release. So it's everything. Everyone's been listening to you reading these books, trying to put the pieces together. I think RFK is more effective in putting the pieces together. And I think people ask, you know, President Trump, he eats unhealthy. No. President Trump's, the foundation of his existence is taking on corruption. Like that is why he's on the political stage. That is why he's been the defining, for whatever you think of him, the defining political figure of our generation. Like, because he's tapped into this frustration of voters that something isn't quite right. But that they're good people, and if we can get this corruption out of the way, that he's standing in the way of this corruption, and we can unleash the American people if we get this corruption out of the way. That thesis is correct. Like, what he has tapped into is the defining political trend of our lifetimes, this populist uprising that's happening throughout all the world. He has tapped into that in a very powerful way. He's talked for a long time about pharmaceutical corruption and these issues. He understands it innately. But RFK, really, I think better than anyone alive, is sharpening this issue. And he's arguing, as we're trying to argue, it's very simple. It's actually not that complicated. You just need to put, truly, as a first step, put Dr. Jay Barsharia in the CDC, right? Put someone who's not trying to get their next shot at pharma, who's aligned with this fundamental agenda at the NIH, at the FDA, at the HHS. And then have people like Elon saying he wants to run government efficiency. He wants to look at how government's performing. HHS is the largest and the most expensive department in all of government. What if someone like Elon people like Bill Ackman who are joining this cause, what if they were given an executive order to analyze the HHS to against the goal of promoting health and thriving and disease reversal for the American people? You're the smartest people in the world.